Hello, and we're live again with Snappy Chat. I'm Christine Bell. I'm super excited to be here. I always love these chats. I always learn so much, and today will be no different because I've got the amazing Christopher. You prefer Chris, right?
Oh, Chris is fine.
With me. Yeah, Chris with me today. We're going to talk a lot more because we are working in similar spaces but different services. So we got a lot to talk about and share today, and hopefully you guys will pitch in as well with your thoughts. So this is all about learning and growing together because guess what? As small business owners, medium business owners, we all go through many of the same challenges. And we can sometimes feel really, really lonely, but there's no reason to feel lonely. If you build a network of other people going through the same, you will realize that it's all normal and part of the journey, as hard as it can be, right? So this is why we're talking about challenges. And Chris, you've been in business for 8 years. We haven't actually talked until today. We have meant to catch up, and it's never really happened except on LinkedIn messaging, yeah? So I'm super excited to finally have a chance to catch up with you and learn more about you. But I do know that you're amazing at messaging. I know that you are great fun and just a chatterbox, as you said. And I know that you're very smart and that you're passionate about what you do. So please tell us a bit more about what you're amazing at.
Absolutely. Hi, Christine, and hi, everyone there. It's great to be part of this. I love LinkedIn, and I'm obviously very active on here. So I've had my business for full-time 8 years. It's been around for more than that. It's been around for like 12, but full-time 8, and very proud of that. It's been a very big roller coaster, like you said, Christine. It's lonely, but amazing, rewarding, but scary. Exciting but fear-inducing. It's a real roller coaster. But the business world is changing. The world in general is changing. People's behaviours are changing, and it's both a unexplored but also an exciting opportunity at the moment. So I can't wait to delve more into that with you.
I know, because we were just talking about this, and we both agree. The last 5 years have been full of change, but I will say it's not like it's come back. It's changed for forever. I think the market has changed forever, and I see it in customers. I see it in offers out there. I see it in how people do marketing. It's everywhere, and it's like, whoa, what's happening? And how do we navigate and build a business that is successful in a market that seems to be changing all the time? And us requiring to adapt, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like, I do a lot of marketing consulting for big firms, small firms, all different sizes, all different industries, and they're all feeling it. And it's not always a negative. It's not like, oh, it's, this is a burden for everybody. It's what I'm seeing a lot now is, and it's not just AI either. It's just everything. It's people's behavior changes. It's, interest rates and financial influences. And we're seeing different trends and platforms pop up, and different statistics and all that kind of thing. And it's a lot to take on board. And I do a lot of marketing strategy, bespoke marketing strategy with a lot of clients. And this is the main thing that they have come up from is I'm seeing the shift. Before, about a few years ago, they used to say, this is what I want. Now I'm hearing, I don't know what I need. I don't know how you're seeing that, Christine, but that's what I'm seeing. The biggest shift on my side that I'm seeing firsthand is, give me an answer, hold my hand. And doesn't that indicate, like, that speaks volumes to me, really?
Yes, I've seen it the same. It's like, we talk about niching, and I'll be completely honest with whoever is listening today. I'm anything but niched right now. In fact, the last year has taken me this direction with lots of different types of things that I'm doing in my business, rather than really niching in. And there's part of me that feels uncomfortable with that too, because like you said, we used to do things in a certain way. We used to know, I've got to do this, X, Y, Z, and then I execute, and it's going to be great. And I keep doing that for a while. And now it's like, no. The rules seem to have been thrown out of the rule book.
Oh,
and now we're unexplored territory.
Yes. And for everyone watching and listening, this is something that is quote unquote normal at the moment, is that feeling of uncomfortable, that feeling with that the market is shifting. Can I give one piece of advice? Is, because I've seen it myself in my own business, but also my clients, is go with it a little bit. And what I mean by that is, because the market and the industry and the behaviors are changing so fast, you can't be rigid. You've got to be like water in this kind of environment. And I'm not saying you spread yourself too thin or betray your vision or anything like that. Not that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that where the client demand is, if that's something of your forte, don't be resistant to it. And for example, I see this in my business, right? Is my team, when my team and we hear a client say, oh, I don't want this, but is this something you do? And I say, well, I don't see why not. It's something in our wheelhouse. I'll actually then create a product around that need, do a bit of research, build it, experiment with it, and then start offering it. And some of my most profitable products and services right now are things that have come together on the fly over the last 2 years. And it's like one of my popular items is a brand on a page, which is a brand messaging communications framework. It's nice and small. And that came literally from a corporate cleaner who said, Chris, these are the kind of things I need to put what I need together. And I built a package for her. And now it's one of my most profitable bestsellers. So my message to everyone is, and this, I'm seeing this in tech. I'm seeing this, like they originally set out to do a bit of tech and they had this in mind. And then a customer said, oh, that's great, but can I have something like this? So long as it's in the same wheelhouse and it's in your same strength, make sure you can adapt. So that's my advice to everyone is if you're seeing this turbulent environment, don't go, oh, I'm going to stay, right? Like try and be flexible. If there's profit to be made, if it's in your strength, if it's an opportunity, like be a little bit flexible because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And it's such an important learning on a personal level too, I think, because it comes back to our personality as well. If we are people who tend to be like in control, we do things this way, we feel safe, and a lot of us, if you look at psychology, prefers to stay safe, right? We don't like to go outside. Yeah, exactly. But what the world is really asking of us now, I believe from what you're saying as well, and what I'm experiencing is it's actually, no, you got to stop that. You got to come out of that. You got to be uncomfortable. You got to get in the arena anyway. And you're just going to play your best hand without being fully prepared for it. But you're just going to have to go with it anyway and then learn from it.
And that's the thing, your customers, I'm finding your customers are telling you what they want. And I don't mean directly. I mean, they might be directly, but no customer will say something like, I want this, but listen to the cues because you will hear certain people say certain things. Like Christine, they might say something like, oh, I don't want your customer strategy. I don't want that, but can you MC one of my projects to help me understand and facilitate my sales team? Now, you might say, and I'm making this up, Christine, but I'm just saying, you might say, oh, it's not something I usually do, but let's do a bit of research into it. And if you do a little bit of research and then suddenly you go, I can offer that, you do a bit of an experiment, take a few photos while you're doing the event, map out your systems and things, then make a website page, and suddenly these things are selling off the charts. So it's one of those things where, sure, you can sit around and go, this is not what I sell, and the market's changing and it's just hard, or you can be flexible. And I think that's what business owners and companies and even well-established brands need to be more adept to today.
Yeah, we need to adapt. I think the key word is we all need to learn to adapt a lot faster and with less fears about what might happen, even if it's not working out. Yeah, because sometimes learn and grow means that we fall down a bit before we go, okay, I learned from this.
It's cliche,
but now I know how to do this. It's cliche.
Yeah,
it's so true. And I think you're absolutely right. And I also actually have a one-page strategy, which is, simplicity, because in a world where we are overwhelmed and bombarded, right? I feel it. I'm sure you feel it too. We've just got so much going on. We look at LinkedIn or social media anywhere.
Oh, yes.
And you're like, how much do you remember at nighttime? Not much, what someone did every day. Yeah. So there's another way of, we have to cut through to customers in a different way, whether it's through messaging or other ways. There's I think, you tell me because you work in this space, there's a real need to think outside the normal ways of connecting with people and disrupting people as well, our customers ideally, to actually pay attention, because we're all completely up to here when it comes to what's going on in the world.
Oh, correct. And there's two skills that I always endorse. One is innovative thinking, and two is critical thinking. Because what's happening in a world of AI is that we are starting to lose that, and we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. And I'm not against AI, not at all. I really enjoy using AI. I use it every day, but it's more that we have to make sure that we reclaim and reinforce our strength over those two areas, right? Like, which is innovative thinking, is thinking outside the square, being creative. And it's actually harder than you realize, because what it is it involves problem solving. And you need to be able to go, okay, this is what I'm faced with. I'm faced with a digitally fatigued audience. I'm faced with very heavy competitors. I'm faced with pricing issues and cash flow challenges and all those things. And for you to be able to build a solution out of that and find a way out is hard. It is really hard. But it's the key to success. And the other one is critical thinking. And what I mean by that is being vigilant around what you're seeing, what you're being fed, all of those kind of things, because critical thinking is a skill that we just can't afford to lose. And in a world of AI where you could just simply ask a lot of things, you need to be able to make sure that you can verify and have an opinion on things. So definitely make sure that you're harnessing those two skills, because they will be the final frontier of business, and we can't afford to lose those.
And I love that you said that. What happened to me is in the last couple of years is I started teaching at the business school at UNSW, and guess what I'm teaching? Human design, innovation, and critical thinking. Because it is AI is exploding in the university environment to the point where students, unfortunately, are literally getting AI to write their assessments, and the systems are so fast at updating, the university can't always keep up with that. Correct. So it's not always that easy to spot, but you learn quite quickly how to spot it. I will say this. And so for me, it's so important to really, what you're saying is constantly think in an innovative way, like constantly challenge yourself to be innovative. And critical thinking is key to that. And you're so right. It's all back to the problem first. And this comes into, and this is a great exercise that we use at the university as well. Are you a divergent thinker or a convergent thinker? So divergent thinker likes to think big strategy, lots of ideas, very creative, me and you. And convergent thinkers are great at really quickly narrowing down to one solution and implementing it. What I think we more is exactly the divergent thinking, which is not comfortable for someone who likes to be efficient, right?
And that's the thing, like actually, and I know there's a question there, and I'll get to you in a second, we'll see. So what I've found is that like I actually, my general manager is my sister, Angela. And she has a different way of thinking. And so I think that there's advantages of both, right? So I'm that big picture, visionary, big ideas.
Exactly, they have to work together.
Yeah. And I run out of the shower with a new idea, and I'll say to my team, quick, hey guys, like quick, I've got a new idea. Let's do this, right? And that's great for the business because it's adaptive and innovative and all of those kind of things that I talked about. But you have to have an implementer. You have to have someone that's going to take what you're doing and put it in place, and being able to do that and find your implementer or find your visionary, because I feel like that's a big thing today. Is you need someone that's going to have that problem solving, innovative, big picture, adaptive thinking that goes, oh, we've got a new idea, let's try this. But then they get exhausted. I don't know how you find it, Christine, but I find it exhausting to implement. Like I go, I've got a great marketing idea, and then I'll go, but here's all the ingredients, but now it's up to you to put it together. And that's the hardest part, I think.
And that's totally fine. Hello, Royce, and hello, Moosey. We will get to your question, Moosey, and thank you for being here. We appreciate you both. I told you so right. I'm a divergent thinker, and it's really good for anyone listening. Just ask yourself, are you divergent or convergent? Can you do both? Some people can, but we do need to work together. You can't, if you're innovating, you can't just have divergent and you can't just have convergent. You need both, right? And this is where collaboration and co-creation comes in. And this is what I'm all about. I really feel that we're moving towards a more, with clients as well, around being more collaborative and being more co-creative.
Correct.
And see where that takes us.
So should I get to Mussi's question here? So he said, how much a mentor has to do with your career? And if so, what advice from a mentor made you start your business? What hurdle you overcame throughout your career? Okay, all right, cool. There's a few questions in there. Okay, so one is mentor coach. Yeah, I actually wrote a book that I talk about the first 20 insights that I gained from my first 5 years in business, and and it was such a cathartic experience, because I felt like, and it's on my website, and the book basically talks about the 20 really cutting lessons that I learned in those first 5 years. And I'm talking like not the, be inspired. I'm talking about the ones that are like, your friends don't understand. And they don't get what this entrepreneur life is, and they'll try to help you even though it's counterproductive, and all those kind of insights. But back to the question was, yes, I always suggest having a mentor or a couple of mentors or a coach. And the reason why is you don't know what you don't know, and that can be one of the most crippling problems when you're doing your career or your business or all those kind of things. And so how much does a mentor do with your career? A lot. And I've had a lot of mentors. One of them, I was a CMO at his business at the time when I started my business, and I was doing it as a side hustle, and he also had a business, and he said, Chris, you've got to do this. Like, he encouraged me to go for it. And that's what I needed. I needed that push to get started. So he was a good mentor. I've had mentors in my previous corporate career that showed me the boss that I wanted to be, which was very catching up with my staff often and being gentle and understanding and listening carefully. So definitely having a mentor is very important, or mentees and mentors, multiple. And that. So the second question is, what did you overcome throughout your career? And what overcome, there's been many, and I know Christine wanted to delve into this as well. There's been so many. There's been anxiety. Like, I never had anxiety until I started a business. And entrepreneurial anxiety is, especially in men, is a big thing. And because we don't talk about it, it's a real silent, I don't want to say killer, but it can be, but it can be a real silent problem that people don't recognize, and you need to get help. And I've seen a lot of people for help with that, because as a business owner but as in your career, there's so much pressure all the time, and I'm trying to do the best for everyone. And so anxiety is a big thing. Hiring my first person was a big hurdle. I was terrified when you hire your first person.
Now you're committing to a salary and taking care of them.
All of that, and suddenly the realization that you have a team, right? Unfortunately, having to fire one of my staff was a horrible experience for me. And just things like that, getting my first huge project and having I've worked with Australian Bureau of Statistics and some of these big banks and things like that, and I just pinch me moments, that imposter syndrome, where you're like, I cannot believe I'm here. Look, and last question, sorry, there's a lot in there, Christine. What does success mean? Honestly, success is fulfillment for me. And it's not for everyone, right? Some people pursue money, careers, better prospects and things. For me, honestly, it's really, I know it's so cliche and boring, but it's happiness and fulfillment. I don't want to wake up one day and go, I don't want to do this. And that's when I know that I'm in the wrong place. So I think success is feeling genuinely excited about what I'm doing. And I think that's what it is. The money comes, the prospects come, the career comes. It's if you wake up and you go, I don't want to be here today, that's when I feel like you need to make a change. Sorry, Christina, I know I speak more.
No, I totally hear. Great answers. And I just want to say hello to Lisa as well. Thank you for being here. Great answers. And I hope that helped Lucy as well in terms of inspiring you and inspired me. So thank you. And I agree. I mean, I burned out, didn't know I had burnout, right? And I just walked out. I'm like, I can't do this. And I had it 3 years before that as well, where I walked out of a job after 3 years or so. And then I just did something completely different, creative. Then I started getting big business in, and I was like, shit, I didn't have the worthiness of it. So I was like, this is too scary. I got actually stressed by having a big client suddenly show up for me on my own. Then I took a job. And then as soon as I signed and then I signed the contract, and I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be working for myself. But I signed the contract because I was in fear. And I stayed 3 years just so it wouldn't look bad on my CV. And then one day I walked out and I was burned out completely. And I sat down and I just could not go back to, I was offered other jobs, great money. And I had to say, no, I couldn't do it. And at that point, joy, it wasn't that I didn't like the actual work I was doing. It was the whole dramas and the
corporate,
the environment,
the
environments I was in weren't great. And it was like, I got to do something for me. And it was joy. It wasn't like, of course I want to make money, don't get me wrong, but it was the need to find myself, fulfillment and joy that I was needing to do and taking. And I wasn't great at setting boundaries. So I needed to be in a place where I could set better boundaries and learn boundaries for myself. And so that there was clear boundaries so I didn't burn out.
Yeah. And that's for everyone. Like, you don't have to be a business owner or an entrepreneur to have that feeling. Like careers should also be fulfilling. I don't know. I mean, everyone is different, but I feel like I've always enjoyed the jobs that I had in corporate before I started my business. And I feel like let's break it down. That's what we're here, right? We don't, no one wants to not enjoy their life, right? And yes, we have to.
I mean, you're always going to have time where it's not so fun, but most of the time you want to have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to enjoy the colleagues that you work with and enjoy the work that you do. And I think that's truly success. Like if you have a great team, thank you, Musi. If you have a great team and a great work ethic and all these principles and things that you like, that's the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Waking up feeling like, oh, I'm inspired still, even though when the going gets tough, and it certainly gets tough in your own business. There's no doubt about it for most people at some point, several times. Yeah. You got to have something that keeps you going, because otherwise, why would you do it? Yeah. And for me, it is that freedom. I love, like, freedom is a big value for me, and joy is a big value for me. And becoming really clear on who you are and what's important to you will actually help you identify what you should be doing and maybe the things you should say no to, including clients sometimes, which can be hard.
Yeah, correct. I agree.
But this is a great conversation.
Yeah. So what else are you seeing in the market, Christine? Like I've been talking a lot about challenges. What are you noticing?
Well, I'm noticing this thing of, it seems to me that the way marketing is happening inside corporates is changing too. I could be wrong, but it seems like there's a big shift there. And with that, the jobs, and if you even look at what jobs are available, you see that those jobs are shifting as well. There's a lot of things where I used to be a specialist in that can maybe be done differently these days, and clients are doing them differently. And so I have also found that my big challenge right now is from suddenly taking on from here to there different things, which has really grown me and taking me in a new direction, more of teaching and corporate training. Which I love, and more facilitation, which I love. I'm actually finding that for the last couple of years, whilst I've been doing my business, I've also actually been upskilling. And I think that as we adapt, upskilling is key. And I enjoy upskilling. Not everyone does, but I enjoy upskilling. And I highly recommend anyone who wants to do their own business, keep upskilling. Keep upskilling, keep learning new things that you're interested in.
Yes, I would agree. Like, is open your mind to those news. Look, I do a lot of presenting and speaking, but then I go to a lot of conferences and events and things as well. I go to a lot of networking groups and roundtable discussions. Like, for everyone listening and watching, don't forget to participate, right? It doesn't matter what stage of career you're at, especially today. And it's not just AI and automation, it's technology, it's trends, it's behavior. And the thing is, if you sit behind your walls all the time, you get quickly out of touch, right? I encourage my team to jump on LinkedIn at the start of each day and the end of each day and participate in chat, right, every day. And the reason why is because on LinkedIn, people talk a lot. They share recommendations and ideas and statistics and things like that, which keeps my team up to date. But then I go to conferences, I speak at roundtables, but then I listen to speakers and I pick up nuggets of gold all the time. And then I come back and share it with my team. And that allows us to be more adaptive. So anyone out there, even if you're a head of a department or you're just starting out, it doesn't matter. Try and go to conferences, events, participate in things, get out there, because those little things that come up in those chats can change the course of your career and change how you do things for the better.
And I think you're making a really great point here, because even if you're in career, most jobs, the best jobs do not get advertised. You need to network to get them, right?
Correct.
So you need to know the right people and human connection. And I will say this, as we see technology and AI growth, because I'm all about trends. That ship has already sailed. That is not like coming in. It's not like the new trend. It's here. It's already mainstream, right? So, but we live in a world and a universe that requires balance. So when this goes up with AI and technology and robots, there's going to be an innate craving in humans for human connection.
Yes.
So human connection is actually the new thing to really, and I even heard Simon Sinek said this in an interview recently on the Diary of a CEO, and he talked about it as well. I'm like, yes, not just me. Don't forget human connection is super more important. With AI, human connection becomes even more important.
Oh, correct. And I'm investing a lot of my marketing this coming year, not just in AI, but I'm investing myself as a marketing strategist in events, conferences, networking, all of those kind of things across many different ways. And the reason why is because business is shifting a lot to what you're saying with this is the human connection. And it's you know what, it's a paradox, right? Because we're getting yelled at this way, going AI, automation, digital marketing, advertising, right? And it's like everyone's online, everyone's on TikTok, everyone's on Instagram. But really, if you actually deep dive into that, that's very superficial. Is what I'm seeing is the other side, which is I'm lonely, I'm bored, I'm feeling disconnected, and so forth. And what I'm seeing in response is people are starting to join local chambers in their local cities. They're starting to join BNI and Club of United Businesses. And there's one that I'm part of that's called Imagine Golf. Like golf has exploded in men and women categories. Because they're just craving the chat, they're craving the connection. I'm seeing, chambers and speaking events and corporate events and things come back with an absolute avenger, especially after COVID, those years and years ago. But it's like, it's come back strong. And so I'm investing a lot in events and speaking and things because exactly what you said, Christine, is people want to talk to you. They want to chat to you. They want to see that you're real. And it's also part of our social proofing as well. I'm seeing that people are starting to distrust digital. They don't know what's real, what's wrong, what's actually the truth. Whereas you can't fake in person. You know, like you can read body language, you can see passion, you can see if people can think on their feet. Like when you're talking to me, Christine, it's not like I can go, let me just chat GPT and answer. We're speaking live, we're speaking fast. And I think that's what people want, right? People don't want those emails that have gone through 3 layers of AI before they've been sent. People want genuine, original, human. And you know what the funny thing is, Christine? The best proof of that is AI search engines and AI optimization. You know how when you ask AI a question and it comes back with an answer and recommends it?
Sometimes it lies.
Yeah, sometimes it lies. But the funny thing is, it's searching for information on original non-AI content. Like that's like even the AI and digital channels are searching for original human generated, all that sort of thing. They're looking for stuff that they've never seen before. And that should show you all you need to know about what's going on. Which is
why, ironically, perfectionism kind of suggests you might be fake. So being imperfect
I know, isn't it weird?
Actually approved.
What a
it's
world.
Actually approved.
What a world.
What a world where I will have, I'll be honest with you, anyone on LinkedIn, I actually write my anything I put up, I write it on the go, I have not, it literally comes that morning, and I can write it in half an hour. But usually, being Danish as well, no excuse, but there'll be a couple of spelling mistakes in there, that I see later. I only see them later because I know when I'm writing, and I think it's all great when I look at it the first time, and then I only see it later when my eyes are off it, And I think, oh gosh. And I think, well, you know what? At least it says I'm human, It's not an AI content, AI content is perfect and kind of speaks in a certain tone of voice and certain language, the AI, And it's like, I look at LinkedIn and I'm like, AI. And I'm like,
and this is the thing, in a platform like in a platform like LinkedIn, you've got to be genuine, right? Like I've seen so many no-nos recently where people are posting things that aren't even them. And I know that's well, duh, but what I'm seeing is people are saying, here's my insights from my first 5 years of business, but they've only been in business for 1 year, right? And things like that. And
it's like this list that's just pushed out of AI, and I'm like, they are so generalized and so non-personal.
It's destroying personal brands. So you've got to be careful. Like I even said to one of my contacts recently, he reached out to me and I said, I can't even tell if it's you or not now. I said, I don't respond to you anymore because I don't know if it's your team, if it's your AI bot. Like I even voice message back to check because I did a voice message back on LinkedIn to see, because AI can't read your voice messages. And then it stopped, the conversation stopped. And I said, oh, okay, you are AI. Right. So this is the thing is be careful with your personal brand. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. Right. It's that whole thing.
Exactly. And we're going to finish up now, but I will say LinkedIn possibly still has a little bit, I know, right? LinkedIn, next year I'm going to do a podcast. It's going to turn into a podcast. So watch out for this space and we can talk for longer for anyone listening. But what I will say very quickly, you know, you look at LinkedIn and I still find that I still enjoy LinkedIn in terms of the value I get from it. But I look at Instagram. Have you looked at Instagram and the businesses on there? Yeah. And I look at this and it's always these perfect women in marketing, selling marketing. And every single video is them doing another model, like literally trying to look like a model, you know, and it's like, does that even sell? And then they go, well, I made 7 million in 1 year. I'm like, yeah. And the first thing I do is I look for you in their name and I go to LinkedIn and I search for them on LinkedIn. I go, oh, so you got 2 years experience in something that you're not even what you're doing. And I'm like, credibility is gone. Yeah. I don't believe the 7 million. I'm not saying some of them haven't made great money on there, but most of them are like, you are lying your A off.
And that's my worry my worry is that it's fooling everybody, because everyone thinks, oh, well, that must be the truth, so therefore I'm a failure. We've got to be careful with that narrative as well. I mean, this is another chat, but
whole nother chat. But we got to be honest and which is why I like these Learn and Grow, because let's be honest about the challenge we all face. Let's bring it down to earth, because if you want to be successful in life and business, you can't live on the idea that you're just going to do a little funnel and you're going to make 7 million. It's not going to happen. You're going to set yourself up for disappointment, right? Get into it. It's not easy. If you want to be great in business, you're going to have to do the hard yards, which is learning and growing, adapting, failing, being innovative, critical, and learning a lot of things that it's uncomfortable, like firing someone, etc. Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yes,
and you got to embrace it. We better stop here because this is a great conversation.
Right. I'm trying to contain myself. Yeah.
We'll do a podcast together next year when I get my podcast up, and we'll do it for longer and people can listen to it at any time. But thank you guys for being here. Everyone is busy. It's December. I'll do one more Snappy Chat next week, and that's the end of this year, because Australia goes into a hibernation for a little while, usually.
Like 3-4 weeks.
But before that, how can people reach out to you? Where can they find you, etc.?
Yep. So as I said, my name is Christopher Melotti. I'm a brand communications consultant and marketing strategist, and I work with brands of all different sizes, shapes, and industries to help them articulate their value and make them relevant. So you can find me at melottimedia.com.au or christophermelotti.com.au, or just jump on my LinkedIn and we'll chat. I'm very generous with my time and I love to chat. So yeah, please reach out.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on here, Chris. I'm so glad we finally got a chat to talk, and we had to do it live, of course, because why not? Yeah.
Yeah, we're like that. Thank you so much, and thank you for everyone for watching.
Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.